In this video guide, we're going to see how we can create some architectural elements for interiors and also for exteriors. So you can do architecture, landscape design using Bagapie modifier, which is a add-on that you can install in Blender. So let me just show you everything from the beginning. So I'm going to go to a new general file. And right now I'm using the version 3.5 of Blender, which is the latest version at the moment. And also I'm gonna download the latest version of the add-on. So to do that, you need to go in Google or whatever search engine, search for Bagapie Blender, and you're gonna go in the Gumroad page, first result. You can also see some presentations right here. You can see how you can do landscape design. You can use scatter modifiers, and you can duplicate, you can align, you can create arrays, rectangular or polar arrays, and you can do a lot of things. This is a circular array. So you can find a lot of information here, by the way, in the website. So how you can adjust, for example, the stairs and other information, essentially. So you can see there is a free modifier and also a paid modifier, and the free one doesn't have like all the assets, but you can find some few tools that can help you in your project. Now, to download the modifier, you can place here 0 if you want to download it for free and click on this button, or if you want to donate, you can donate whatever amount you want. Just insert it right here and click on this button. You will be then in another page. I'm just going to show you real quick. So here you need to insert your email address and then click on the button, and you're gonna download the modifier, the Bagapie modifier. Now, just as usual, you will find it in your downloads folder or in a folder that you specified for the download. Then you need to go to Edit, Preferences, Add-on, click on Install. And in my case, I downloaded these in my download folder. And you can see I also downloaded other add-ons which we talk about in other videos. And these are all for architecture like Archipack or JArch or Blender Beam, Blender Kit, and so on. So check our other video guides in the channel and also the course in Blender. If you are a beginner, you want to know more about Blender, you will find a base course and also other courses in the channel. So in this case, I'm going to select Bagapie and say install. Now, once it's installed, you can find it in your list here and make sure that you activate it. So click on the checkbox right there so you can activate it, deactivate it. And here you have like other panels that you can check. You have preferences. This is how you can open up the tool with the J, but you can change the key if you want. And the assets, you can install the the library and the asset pack. So you click here, just select a folder and then install. And you can see here some of these are already installed. Just need to wait a few seconds. Now, if they don't install, probably it's also because you don't have like the full version. So this is, remember, an overview of what Bagapie is, but if you want, you can get like the full version and you can find a lot of more tools in there. Now, I close the preference panel and I have the cube here in Blender. Now, what I want to do with this cube is I want to create walls using this cube. This is something you can do with Bagapie. So first of all, let's see if we installed the plugin. To do that, press N of your keyboard and then go all the way down, and you can see it's right here. It's installed. You can access the documentation. You can watch the other tutorials, or you can press J. If you press J, you can see that you can access the Bagapie tool. And here you have a lot of different actions you can do. You can do deformation, you can create arrays, circular arrays, linear arrays. You can manage, you can do proxies, you can create scattering of your object. You can create IVI, which is vegetation. So if I just use this just to show you, you can see we applied some vegetation on the cube right here. So this is something you can do real quick. Now, cubes and other objects in Blender can be helpful also for this tool. Now, if you press J again, you can see that we can now create all of this stuff here in architecture. And you also have Boolean, by the way, but you also have Boolean in Blender and Bool tool Addon, which is really good. But let's talk about architecture. So let's say you want to create a column. Now you can create a column without actually having other tools ready, other objects ready in the scene. So a column is kind of an independent element. Now when you select it, you can go in the Bagapie modifier panel right here, and you can see that you can like delete it or turn it on and off on the view. You can adjust the height, you can adjust the shape, can become circular, can become rectangular, you can change the width, and also you can add a bevel, and if you want you can round this up using more subdivisions. So this is something really handy, and everything is free with these basic actions. So sometimes you can create something without any, let's say, host. Like, well, let me just show you. If I select a camera here in the outliner and press J, you can see that many of these things are not available. Why? Because sometimes we need an object to work with this. Otherwise, you cannot work. So you can create a column. You can create a linear stair, for example, which is really simple. We can create a spiral stair also. But what we cannot do is create, for example, let me just create, we can create a pavement floor. We can create a spiral stair. So we can also adjust then these with all the parameters right here, like the width, the height, the rotation. We can here increase the number of elements with vertices. So if I want to add a pavement, and then I can adjust the length of the single elements, the width, the height, and the offset. You can also adjust some randomness. Okay, and you can also add materials. So we added pavements, we added stairs and columns. Now for the wall, we actually need something more. We need a line to place the wall on. Now you have many ways you can create objects in Blender. You can add 2D objects, surfaces, you can add curves, which are 2D. But I find it really easy to create like a cube and then delete some faces. So to create a room, let's create a really big room. I can start with a single cube, go to the item and adjust the dimensions. So this is like scaling. So I wanna do like 5 meters high room, and then I wanna have this really long. So this is gonna be a really long room. Okay, but look what happens if now I use the J and apply a wall. Now this is looking really strange. It's not working really good. So let me just go back, Control Z. So we cannot use a solid like this with walls, but we can go to edit mode and we can start to delete some faces. So if I select the face and start to delete with the X, start to delete faces. There you go. So you can see now I kind of have my wall right there, but still I cannot use this. Let me just delete also the bottom face. Okay, so let's try again. So if I do J and use a wall, you can see again it's looking strange, not good. So Control Z. Now to create walls and other similar assets using Bagapie, you need 2D. So what I'm gonna do here is select all the faces that I have here. So I need to select this, go to edit mode and select all faces. And now I can delete with the X only the faces. So you can see I'm left with just the edges. Now I don't need the edges, so I don't need this top edge. So I'm going to delete again these edges. Also this one here vertical, I don't need them, so delete edges. So you may not see it, but if I go in the wireframe mode, you can see that I am left with this kind of C shape right there. So now I can use the wall with this. So I need to go back to object mode and again press J and click on wall. And now you can see that I can create some walls. Now they look strange again, so we need to do one more thing before we can actually use the wall. We need to go to, in object mode, we need to go to object, go to apply, and do all transforms, because we actually scaled the original cube, so everything is kind of deformed. So we need to apply those transformations before we use the wall. So J, wall, and now you can see it looks good. So what we need to do now is adjust it in terms of dimensioning. So, or let me just go here, Bagapie. See, you can adjust height, the width, or I can just delete it right here. And let's create another type. So if I press J again, let's use a wall brick. So wall brick is more interesting because you actually have all those single bricks that you can use. Now I also want to activate a little bit of wireframe so I can see better, decrease the opacity of the wireframe just a little bit, just to see the singular elements. You can see these are not textures, these are actual 3D objects. So here in the wall, I can increase the height, the thickness, and the length of each single brick. And then I can increase the row count so that it becomes taller. So this is how you can create a wall. And you can see now it's, you can also create offsets, horizontal offsets. So you have many different parameters you can play with. So make sure you do it because you can do a lot of different things with this add-on. So this is just an overview, a quick video guide. Just spend some time working with parameters. These are all parametric objects you can experiment with. And that's it. So if you enjoyed the video, please subscribe to the channel for more in the future. And also, if you want to support us, you can join the channel as a supporter. Thanks for watching and see you in the next guide.